Hey guys, Brandon Woolum, CCM Magazine today, hanging out in the CCM Cafe with Melvin Crispell III. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. Winner of season 9 of Sunday Best.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Been a few years. You've had a little bit of success since then.
Yes.
So you've got an incredible testimony that a lot of these people watching this may have not heard yet, because you're mainly in the gospel form. Let's tell the CCM crowd about Melvin Crispell III and this incredible testimony you got.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I am currently 26 years old. I'm a native of Brooklyn, New York. I come from, a heavy gospel music legacy. My parents, Melvin Crispell Jr. and Tanisha Crispell, were heavily involved in the gospel music industry. My dad being a songwriter and musician, and my mom being a psalmist. And so I grew up, around music, especially gospel music. And so in 2006, we moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, where I currently reside. And in 2014, I experienced the untimely death of my father, which was a very, very hard for me. There were a lot of uncertainties, didn't know how I was going to move on past that. All at the same time, my mom was fighting a battle of cancer, and she passed a year and a half after that in 2016. And so that left me in a very vulnerable place of, God, why? What are you doing? Where do you want me? Why is this happening to me? And it was just, I got to a very low place. And it was gospel music, it was singing, it was, God placing certain people around me and in my life to just assure me that God's love is real and his plan is perfect and his timing is perfect. And so that's really what pushed me to go forward, and it got me on my feet. And not too much longer after that, was Sunday Best, and here I am today, surviving, I'm living, and I'm just resting in the grace of God, for sure.
Yeah, so album number 2 came out about, let's see, 7-8 months ago or so.
Yes.
No Failure.
Yes.
Now that people have had that for a decent amount of time in their cars, on their phones, what do you hope that they're pulling out of that album as they've gave it multiple listens at this point?
Yes. Well, I pray that people are experiencing joy and hope, and just knowing that God truly loves them in whatever space that they're in, whatever season of life that they're in. God's love is real, and it comes with no condition. And I believe, that every song is a different message that all leads back to one source. And I pray that people are listening to these songs and drawing from that source. I've been seeing so many responses of, not only, the middle age and the older folks, but even the children, the babies, singing and just learning about who Jesus is through my music. And that means the world to me.
First album was in the studio, this one here with a live feel. How are those experiences different and moving forward? You kind of want to keep doing both? Or
I do want to keep doing both. I did not want to do a live album. When they presented it to me, I was like, I just don't think I'm ready to do a live album. Studio was very comfortable. It was a comfortable space for me.
You get some do-overs in there.
Right, get some do-overs. So live, I'm just like, okay, my nerves are really bad as it is, so y'all not about to stress me out. But I will say that, I just said yes, and I went through the process, and the process was like nothing else I've experienced. If I had to do it again, I would, and I will. I'm grateful to have been able to, put my hands in this and dive deep, and just be in every conversation and making sure everything ran smoothly. So this live recording process was very heavy, but it was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and this one, well, as we record this is the Wednesday before the Grammys. This album here gets you your second Grammy nomination. You're just you're going to leave Nashville today, go home for a day, hop on a plane, go out to LA for the Grammys.
Yes.
How pumped are you to be out there for the first time? Because we talked about this earlier. You had a nomination a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. That was in the COVID year. This will be your first time getting to be in that audience.
Right. When I tell you I am nothing but a ball of nerves, I am super excited though. Like you said, this being my first time being able to go to the Grammys and just experience the experience. And, I'm really excited about that. But I will be a nervous wreck until Sunday morning when I find out about the nomination. What an honor it is to be nominated for the second time.
Yeah, both albums have got nominations. That's pretty rare.
I still can't wrap my head around it. God is so good.
Yeah, well, the current single right now, God Is, still just racking up the views on YouTube. right at 2.5 million views right now. How incredible has it been just watching those views? Just every time you look at it, it's got another 100,000 views. Watching how that's touched people.
That means the world to me. The fact that it's touching people, and like I said before, about it touching the lives of even children. Like, people send me videos of even toddlers. I'm talking about 1 year old, just at the TV staring and singing. Like that. These children are our future, and the fact that we're training them up and showing them who Jesus is, so they can go out into the world and tell somebody else, and so that person can tell somebody else. It's no greater feeling for me. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, earlier today here in the cafe, you performed an acoustic version of that track. How many times have you got to play that in that kind of stripped down environment where literally it was just a guitar and your vocal?
This, well, for this is the second time, and honestly, I have to say I enjoy doing it in a close setting like this. You get to be more intimate, and you have a little more fun than it is when you're live. So
yeah. We go back to Sunday Best. Did those TV performances maybe help you when you went into this preparation for the live album, when they said you're gonna do a live album?
You know what? Actually, yes. I Sunday Best was a big learning experience for me. Just being on stage in front of, about 200 people in person, but knowing that millions of people are going to see this, it's like, okay, you really have to make sure that you are on your P's and Q's, and you're doing that, but also at the same time being ministry minded, Jesus minded first, and just making sure that you're having fun doing what you're doing, and that really helped me with stage fright, and just with making little mistakes. I can be a perfectionist at sometimes, so it's like, okay, you messed up, the whole thing is terrible. But no, I really had people around me to encourage me and say, hey, it's live. It's you. You're giving people the authentic you, and people don't want anything else but that.
Yeah, you win that show, and little did you know, we were just months away from kind of, you get over your stage fright, and then there's not going to be any stages for like 2 or 3 years right after that. You win in 2019, and then we all know what happens right around the corner of that. So this album, still fresh in people's playlist and such, but are you already working on some new stuff?
I am. I'm currently working on a new project. It is a studio project, but it is something that is really dear to my heart. I really want to give legends, gospel music legends, their flowers while they're here, because they deserve that. They have paved the way for so many of us to just do what we do today, whether it may be through just inspiring us or speaking good words to us and encouraging us. And I'm grateful and honored to be able to release this next project. So I cannot wait for the world to hear it.
Yeah, we'll be on the lookout for that one while we wait. No Failures out there on all the platforms now, and be rooting for him to get his first Grammy here in just a couple of days. Good hanging with you, Melvin.
Great to hang with you. Thank you so much for having me, for sure.